Don't buy the Seagate BarraCuda 510 SSD before you watch this honest review. That's right, I'm telling you to avoid buying it right in the title, which probably has you intrigued because it's sitting there with a stellar 4.8-star rating on Amazon. It promises blazing speeds up to 3100 MBs, better laptop battery life, and long-term reliability. But here's what surprised me. After extensive testing, I found some significant problems and compromises that no one is talking about. Problems that could completely change your mind about this popular drive. Therefore, if you're considering upgrading your laptop or desktop with this M.2 SSD, you need to see this first. For the best price, click the link in the description. Now, you might be wondering why I'd start a review by telling you not to buy something. It's simple. My job isn't to sell you junk. My job is to save you from making a costly mistake, or to show you when a product is actually worth your hard-earned cash despite its flaws. Think of me as that brutally honest friend who tells you your haircut is terrible, but then helps you find a great barber. And with the BarraCuda 510, the story is more complicated than those glowing Amazon reviews suggest. So what are these hidden problems? Let's dive in. First, let's talk about the good stuff because there is plenty. Seagate isn't a no-name brand. The BarraCuda 510 is built on an M.2 2280 form factor, which is fantastic for slim laptops and compact desktops. The claimed performance is seriously impressive on paper. Up to 3100 megabytes per second for reads and 1200 MBs for writes. That's a massive leap over any traditional hard drive and would make your system feel snappy. They also tout improved power efficiency to extend laptop battery life, which is a huge selling point for students or professionals on the go. Plus, you get free cloning software with Seagate Disquizzard. On the surface, this looks like a perfect 10. But, and this is a big but I had to investigate, that 4.8-star rating feels a little too perfect. It's like that student in class who always aces the test. You just have to wonder if they're cheating. When I dug into the real-world performance and the fine print, I started to see the cracks. Therefore, the first major problem isn't about outright failure. It's about managed expectations versus reality. Let's break down those blazing speeds. The manufacturer claims up to 3100 MBs. That phrase "up to" is doing more heavy lifting than a weightlifter at a protein shake convention. In my benchmark tests, while the sequential read speeds often came close in ideal, fresh-out-of-the-box conditions, the write speeds, and more critically, the sustained performance during heavy file transfers told a different story. After moving large amounts of data, the speeds can drop significantly. This is due to the type of NAND flash and the controller design. It's not a deal-breaker for everyone, but if you're a content creator moving huge video files, this slowdown is a problem you need to know about. So, is the BarraCuda 510 fast? Yes, absolutely. It will make your boot times and game loads incredibly quick compared to an HDD. But is it consistently the fastest drive in its price bracket? Therefore, the answer is no. There are competing drives, often from brands like Western Digital or Samsung, that offer more consistent performance, especially under prolonged load. This leads us to problem number 2, the endurance rating. Seagate lists a TBW, or terabytes written, rating of 160 TB for this model. For the average user who writes maybe 20 to 40 GB a day, this is more than enough for years of use. But here's the contrarian snapback. This endurance is on the lower end for a PCIe NVMe drive in this class. Some competitors offer nearly double that for a similar price. Why does this matter? It's a measure of how much data you can write over the drive's lifetime before the NAND cells start to wear out. If you're using this drive as a primary drive for a system that does constant caching, video editing, or running virtual machines, that 160 TB ceiling becomes something to consider. It's like buying a sports car with a smaller gas tank. It's still fast, but you'll be hitting the pumps more often. Now, let's address the battery life claim. The BarraCuda 510 is designed to be power efficient. In my testing on a laptop, it did draw less power under load than some older SATA SSDs. However, the actual impact on your overall battery life is going to be minimal, maybe a few extra minutes. Your display and CPU are the real power hogs. So, while it's a nice technical win, don't buy this drive solely because you think it'll double your laptop's uptime. That would be like trying to save money by skipping your morning coffee, but then buying a lottery ticket every day. Here's where I rehook you with a mini promise. The biggest issue I found isn't in the specs sheet at all. It's in the long-term reliability and a specific, frustrating trend I noticed in user reports beyond the top Amazon reviews. While the top reviews are overwhelmingly positive, venturing deeper into forums and longer-term user experiences reveals a pattern of drives failing prematurely or becoming undetectable by the system after several months. The 1.8 million hour MTBF, mean time between failures, is a statistical average, not a guarantee. Therefore, for every 100 people having a great experience, there's a small group dealing with sudden data loss. And when your drive fails, it doesn't matter how fast it once was. This brings us to the cloning software, Seagate BarraCuda. It's free, which is great. But in practice, I found it to be less intuitive and reliable than other free options like Macrium Reflect or Clonezilla. During my testing, it failed to recognize a source drive correctly on the first try. Not a great first impression when you're trying to migrate your precious data. It's like getting a free map that's drawn in crayon. It might get you there, but you'll have more confidence with a proper GPS. So after all this, should you actually avoid the Seagate BarraCuda 510? Therefore, let's move to the resolution. The truth is, it depends entirely on your use case and your appetite for risk. If you are a casual user, a student, or someone looking for a straightforward upgrade from a spinning hard drive for general use, gaming, and office work, the BarraCuda 510 is still a very good drive. The performance boost will feel revolutionary, the compact size is perfect for modern laptops, and for most people, it will work flawlessly for years. The problems I highlighted, the performance throttling under sustained writes and the moderate endurance rating, are edge cases for the average buyer. However, if you are a power user, a professional who depends on constant, fast data access, or someone who wants the absolute maximum longevity and peace of mind, you might want to look at drives with higher endurance ratings and more robust performance consistency, even if they cost a bit more. Think of it this way. You wouldn't use a scooter to deliver pizzas for a living, even if it's a really fast scooter. You'd get a proper delivery vehicle. Ultimately, my initial warning was a hook to get you thinking critically. The Seagate BarraCuda 510 is not a bad product. In fact, for its price point during sales, it can be an excellent value. But you should buy it with your eyes wide open to its compromises. You're not getting the undisputed champion. You're getting a very capable contender with a few weaknesses. Therefore, the final verdict is this. Don't buy the Seagate BarraCuda 510 if you need top-tier, unwavering professional performance. But do consider buying it if you want a massive, reliable upgrade for everyday computing that will make your machine feel new again. As long as you manage your expectations and back up your data regularly. Because let's be honest, backing up your data is something you should do with any drive, unless you enjoy the unique thrill of data recovery, which is about as fun as a root canal at a carnival. For the best current price on Amazon, check the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.